Thanks for staying with us. City of Joburg Speaker Colleen Makhubele is no longer a member of COPE, and this was announced by the party after it emerged that she is the chairperson of the South African Rainbow Alliance, a federation of small parties. Now, COPE says it terminated her membership because she joined this organization without their go-ahead. Now, the South African Rainbow Alliance chairperson Colleen Makhubele joins us live now. Thank you so much for your time this evening. Let's just start first with, that moment, because it's been a few days now and we've watched these developments in the public domain. Take us to that moment and describe it for us when you heard about your sacking from COPE.
Good evening, and good evening to the viewers and the listeners at home. Thank you for having me. Look, I think let's start from the beginning. Where did SARA, or the super pet which evolved into SARA, come about? From August, we've been meeting as small parties. There were a couple of minority parties that started to come together to have conversations on how do we tackle the 2024 national and provincial elections. COPE has been actively part of this through President Lekota. Since August, September, we decided to formulate it. And presidents were asked to go back and speak to their structures and seek, of course, approval to proceed with this super pact, to register it as at IEC as a party, and also to, of course, fully participate. And all the parties came back, the presidents that came back gave an account that they have a go-ahead. I mean, we've got footage and videos and everything that, Super PAC has been discussing. It's on YouTube. It's public knowledge, basically. And suddenly, while I was selected to be the president, not the chairperson, I'm the president of SARA and the presidential candidate for 2024. And on Monday, as we always meet, we were waiting as the presidents of the different parties, myself there as well. President Lekota was supposed to join us as always, to discuss the strategy going forward for the upcoming weekend with the voter registration. Of course, now that we've got Colleen and other posters and everything that's out, our key focus is to drive now, the ground and voters to register. He didn't come. He said he wasn't feeling well and he had an agent meeting in Kempton Park. Suddenly, all of us, to our shock, we're sitting there with all the presidents. We see that I'm being fired because I have signed up COPE, or I've joined this federation, which President Lekota was an active member and appointed and volunteered himself so to even recruit more presidents into this alliance. I've met even last week with Pastor Makhubele's church with him because we wanted to solicit their support presenting this change party would join us. It was recruited by him. Other presidents of UDF and AIC were also him. So it's a shock to us. I think it was also unfortunate that he did not even have, that opportunity to also alert the other presidents of his decision, because we find out right in the meeting, waiting for him on Monday, shocked, disappointed. I did not even have an opportunity to alert my coalition partners in the city of Johannesburg because of the impact that it has with the position that I held, in the city.
Yeah. So
it really just shocked the system. But look, that to me is done. It's dusted. I've been through the emotions of it, the disappointment, the shock, the disingenuous nature in which it was this operation was executed without an opportunity to even make any representation or to explain. And because President Lekota was an honorary president of this organization, in the structure it was me, it was him. And why they choose to fire me. But the main issue is that and he approved everything. I think the main issue is that he had hoped that it will not be my face as a presidential candidate.
And why, pardon me for coming in there, why would he not hope that it's your face?
Look, and this is my speculation, he can deny it and whatever, but women in this country, there's a reason why we don't have female presidents. And he would have hoped that it was himself as the president of SARA. That would have been okay, because he's been fine with everything up until the structures approved me. of Sarah to be the president. That's what we believe happened, because even post that, this decision was made maybe 2 weeks ago. Post that, he was fine. He was still going out with us to recruit people. I think perhaps when the poster started to come up, it became that shock, So, I'm speculating, so yeah. I can't tell, and I don't want to speak on his behalf. But the main idea is that I'm a woman, I'm at the helm of Sarah, I'm a presidential candidate that must be supported, and that is where the problem is, nothing else. I didn't join a federation, I didn't join a party, I was in a structure where he was daily with me, driving it with other presidents, and these presidents were even willing to go and do affidavits to this and support me if I wanted to fight it. I said, no, I'm not interested. So, my future is with Sarah, and I'm going to move on with what we're doing.
So what happens now to your position in the city of Johannesburg? Because as you alluded to a little earlier on, it was one of my questions that it's bound to have implications. So what happens now?
No, certainly. Once I'm terminated as the member of Congress of the People, because I was enjoying that position because I was the public representative of COPE, therefore I'm effectively terminated as the speaker. So the city must now seek to appoint a new or elect a new speaker because the position is now vacant.
So does it mean then that within Sarah you are now going to look for a new political home to stay there, or are you simply just going to go at it alone? What happens there?
Sarah is being registered as a political party as it was approved by all presidents, including President Likota. So we are registering at IEC as a political party. It's going to run as a political party, but it amalgamates various minority parties. There's ICM, there's which is Independent Citizens Movement, there's ARM, which is Amalgamated African Movement, there's Change, there's NFP, which is part of us. There are many political parties that are seeking to join, and also those that were knocking on their doors to join. So all of those parties are not going to contest as their own independent parties come 2024. They are all going to then rally behind Sarah, and we contest as one body. The difference between us as a coalition is that we are amalgamating now, we are choosing our leadership now, so that when we go out 2024, we are campaigning, the public, the South Africans would know who is Sarah, who is in there, who will be the presidential candidate, how are we arranged. We've learned a lot from the local coalitions that are done post the elections, where it becomes a fight of position and power because you've got one number more than me, you've got one seat, you've got 3 seats, therefore you're a kingmaker. And whether you qualify to occupy an important and critical position or not, you are given that because you command 3 numbers, and if you pull out, the whole thing collapses. That's not how to do coalitions. We believe that that focus becomes power positions and arrogance instead of service delivery. We're ironing out our issues now. We're entering into discussions that are very difficult. Who's the boss? Who's not the boss? Who's going to occupy this? Who's going to do that? Ministerial positions, because we're intending to govern. So that after elections, we just hit the ground running in implementing our policies and strategies.
Okay, let's see then what happens on that front, and we'll also try to reach out to, COPE, just to also get a sense of then what happens now, particularly as you now say that there's a vacancy for a speaker in the city of Johannesburg. But thank you so much for giving us your reaction this evening. That was the South African Rainbow Alliance Executive President, Colleen Makhubele.